Your assumption is that it's through an accurate definition of reality that we can figure out what to do with ourselves, or figure out what to do with reality. So there's your assumption. We need to define accurately. We need to define accurately something called reality. We need to do that, and then by doing that, and only by doing that, we will be able to figure out what to do. Figure out what to do. So you don't know what to do. You're having problems figuring out what is right. You're having problems. Essentially, you're incongruent. You're absolutely a mess. I watch your videos and it makes me want to cry. It's so sad. You're suffering so much, and the only reason that you're suffering so much is because you hold on to it as a means of identifying yourself. So you're assuming that you can solve whatever this problem is by accurately defining reality. That's an assumption that to me is based off of nothing. I have no idea what that means. No idea. I understand when you say, well, what you said is you need to figure out what to do, or figure out what to do with reality. So I hear you there. I understand that you don't. There's something wrong. That's what I hear you saying. You're saying, help. There's something wrong with me. I'm suffering, and I don't know how to get out. What I don't hear is how you have come to the conclusion that it's through an accurate definition of reality. I'm not asking you to explain that, because I know, I understand what's going on. The amount of contradiction in your discourses is staggering. You're talking about intellectual suicide. Such violent terminology, by the way, imagery, such violent imagery, when it's not necessary to evoke such violent. You're talking about people committing this intellectual suicide when they make a judgment based on nothing. Well, your entire thing is based off of a judgment based on nothing. You're criticizing people who identify themselves as atheists. Saying that they've accepted God as nature. Well, you've clearly accepted the intellect. You're claiming that they've accepted nature as God. You've clearly accepted the intellect as your God. The intellect, however it is that you define it. You also bring up, you used an analogy of drug addiction. You said, don't ask a heroin addict what heroin is. They won't have an answer because they're addicted. They won't have a valuable answer. I think it was what you were getting. Well, you, sir, you know nothing about the efficient use of the intellect, because you are, it seems, helplessly addicted to intellectual speculation. You use the powers of the intellect, which are generally destructive. Not usually in a negative way. The intellect is half of the battle, but you use that force to identify yourself, but you don't have. It seems that you're completely disconnected from the creative aspect of things, the intuitive. I think that you're very scared of people like Matt, or you're you're made uncomfortable by people like Matt. Because you can tell that he's using a facet of the brain. He's using his brain on occasion in a way that is possible to use the brain that you completely don't know about yet. And you're talking about how most people, you're judging most people in a very negative way, saying that the only thing that matters to them is what they're connected to, what they have personal attachments to. Then, in the same exact video, you say, we just need to give up on people like Matt. Well, what is your reason for wanting to give up? Why is it that you're pushing Matt out of the picture? Well, because you don't understand what the fuck he's saying, because your brain isn't working the same way. So you're essentially saying the only thing that matters to you is what you have a personal attachment to. What I don't mean to come off as attacking you. I really don't. But you keep talking about addiction and intellectualism and all of this negative. You keep attributing all of these negative behavioral patterns to most people, and I just feel obligated to tell you that it's absolutely clear as a whistle to me, and probably most of the other people who watch your videos, that the negative behavioral patterns you're attributing to everyone in the world are your own negative behavioral patterns. What I mean to do here is to encourage you to look deeply into yourself in a meditative and open-minded manner. I'm sure that while watching this video, if you even watch it, you immediately have a conditioned response, that you've developed a system for responding to this type of criticism. And I'm sure as soon as I say that something about you that does not fit in with your picture of yourself, that you immediately discard it. Please, before responding to what I'm saying, and I don't mean posting a response, like, it would probably be best just don't even respond to this, like, because I'm not trying to battle you. I have no interest in that. But before you respond, inside yourself, before you let the response happen, open your mind into a meditative state, and just focus inwardly. Your tendency toward outward focus, it's not something that you can handle. I don't believe it's something that anyone can handle. You seem to be obsessed with having an objective view. I have no idea what you're talking about when you say objectivity, and from watching everyone throwing back and forth these ridiculous videos trying to define it doesn't seem that any of you have any idea what you're talking about when you use the word objective. I don't want to know. I'm not asking. I just felt obligated to throw something into this discussion because it's spiraling downward, and it's destructive and negative and disgusting and saddening. That's all I'll say about that. And if what I've said isn't helpful, if you feel it's an attack or that it's destructive, then just disregard this and maybe just comment on it, and I'll delete it. I don't want to, have a battle of wits with you or something. That's all.